Hello, this is Jenny Alexander, and I have the daily devotional for Monday, August 31st. I'd like to share with you the tale of three trees, which is a folk tale. Once upon a time, there were three trees that lived in the forest, and they had grand dreams. The first one decided, after looking up at the beauty of the stars, that he wanted to be made into a treasure chest that would hold diamonds and gold and precious gems and the finest treasures. The second tree looked at the stream going along and decided he wanted to be made into a great sailing ship that would cross the ocean and carry mighty kings. And the third tree looked down into the village and saw people down there and decided she just wanted to stay in the forest and grow tall and point the way to God. So time passed, the sun shone, the rains came, and the three trees grew big and tall. And then one day, three woodcutters came into the forest. And the first woodcutter saw that first tree and said, this is a beautiful tree. It'll be perfect for me, and cut it down. And the second woodcutter said, this is a strong tree. It's perfect for me, and cut it down. And the third tree, she was a little scared. She didn't want to be cut down, but the woodcutter didn't even look up to look at her. He just said, any old tree will do, and cut her down. So that first tree was excited when he ended up at a carpenter's shop, but instead of being made into a treasure chest, he was made into a feeding trough for animals and got filled with hay. And all day long, day in and day out, the animals ate the food out of him. And the second tree was excited when he went to a shipyard, but he wasn't made into a great sailing ship. He was made into a fishing boat and carried stinky, smelly fish back and forth across the lake all the time. And the third tree was confused when she went to a lumber yard and got cut into strong beams that just got thrown on a pile. So time passed, and the trees almost forgot their dreams. But one night, starlight shone, and a young couple had a baby. And the man said, I wish I could make a cradle for him. And she said, that's okay. This feeding trough will do. It's a perfect manger. And that tree knew that he was holding the greatest treasure of all. And then one evening, a traveler and 12 of his friends got into the fishing boat to cross the lake. And the man fell asleep. And after a while, a storm came up. And it was a great storm, and the tree was scared because he knew he wasn't strong enough to carry those men across the lake to safety. But the man woke up, and he reached out his hand, and he said, peace. And the wind stopped, and the waves calmed, and the storm was gone. And that tree knew that he was carrying the King of heaven and earth. And then one day, an angry crowd formed, and they pulled those pieces of wood out of that lumber pile, and they nailed it into a cross and carried it through a crowd of angry people, jeering and screaming and yelling. And that tree was so sad and so dejected when they nailed a man to the cross, and he died. And the tree felt ugly and sad. But on Sunday morning, the sun rose, the earth shook with joy, and God's love had changed everything. It had made the first tree beautiful. It had made the second tree strong. And the third tree knew that every time anyone looked at it, she would point the way to God. And that was better than being the tallest tree in the forest. Thank you so much for sharing with me today. I hope you liked the tale of three trees. Take care, and God bless.